As we bring the 2025 National Construction Summit to a close, allow me to begin with a very simple but heartfelt message to all of you. Thank you for making this another success. Thank you to every stakeholder who has shown up, not just in attendance, but in your energy, your ideas, and your commitment to continue to build our construction sector. Over the last 2 days, we've seen what it means to coordinate with urgency and purpose. To our officials, our partners from the public sector, our private sector, our built environment professionals, emerging contractors and community leaders, you have once again proven that this sector is not short of vision or resolve. To our teams behind the scenes, from the department and the CIDB, Infrastructure South Africa and all 9 provinces, thank you for pulling off one of the most ambitious, well-attended construction summits South Africa has ever hosted. Please let's give you a round of applause. It's my firm belief that this was just not another conference. It marked a further turning point and further direction on the road that we are currently traveling. When we opened the summit on Wednesday, I said that South Africa's construction site had turned a corner, and that is by no means should be mistaken to say that it's perfect, to say that there aren't challenges, to say that there aren't issues. But we have turned a corner. The industry is better today than it was a year ago. That momentum that we have started building over the last year, from stabilizing sites to finalizing the construction action plan, to seeing the creation over 130,000 new jobs in the third quarter, is real and measurable. Now, as we close, I can say with even more certainty that the road ahead is even clearer. Our partnerships have grown stronger. Our foundation is stronger to turbocharge the construction industry, and we are moving with pace. The last 2 days have seen some good speeches, some nice events, but in fact it was actually about building consensus, driving decisions, and unlocking new avenues for delivery. And thanks to your collective effort, we're leaving with exactly that. A set of concrete, actionable, and jointly owned resolutions that will shape the next phase of our construction recovery and growth. These resolutions will help us turbocharge the sector to even greater heights, not just in words, but actual delivery. Ladies and gentlemen, today's agreement that we've adopted is more than just a document. It is our roadmap endorsed by all 9 provinces, by public and private sector leaders, and by the very people responsible for putting shovels in the ground and turning plans into progress, and that is all of you here today. Through this declaration, we have aligned on some of the most urgent reforms that our sector will see over the next 12 months, including a united performance improvement framework across clients, contractors, and professionals. A bold step towards further accountability, including blacklisting of non-performing contractors and professionals. The fast-tracking of the CIDB Amendment Act to give real teeth to drive our quality, compliance, and delivery. A national rollout for the integrated social facilitation framework to prevent site disruptions before they start, and to position communities on projects as our partners and our first line of defense. A major push on contractor and skills development, which will target and train over 4,000 beneficiaries by the end of next year alone. A firm commitment to digitization, from ERP-based real-time project tracking systems to a national building information modeling framework. And the strengthening of the Department of Public Works' role as the single custodian for the built environment in both regulatory and legislative frameworks. Each of these commitments speaks directly to the problems that you have raised in the commissions yesterday and to the solutions that we have crafted here this morning. Each of them will form part of our collective agenda as we move from the summit to a phase of implementation now. Ladies and gentlemen, what we've seen clearly over these 2 days is that South Africa's Construction Action Plan, adopted by all MECs in October, is no longer just a proposal. It's been endorsed by the Presidency, it's been endorsed by our MINMEC, and it has been endorsed by all of you. SACAP is being operationalized not in 5 years' time, but now. Procurement war rooms are going to be rolled out across the country in every province. Our blacklisting databases are already under development, and ERP infrastructure tracking systems will enter into pilot phase soon. Professionalization programs are already being drafted, and restriction committees will soon be established in all provinces. Audit gaps will also be addressed by our MECs in a hands-on fashion. Together with these resolutions adopted here today, these reforms will shift us from isolated improvements to full system performance upgrades. This is the new chapter that we are collectively writing together. Ladies and gentlemen, as we leave the summit here today, I want us to go with a new sense of optimism, that the best days for construction and the best days for South Africa are ahead of us. That by working together, that we can address each of those problems raised in a systematic way. And just as people doubted our ability to deal with site disruptions a year ago after we met in Durban, they said it's just another conference, nothing will come from it. But the facts speak for themselves. Not only are people being arrested, they are being convicted. Not only are disruptions marginally coming down, they are coming down by up to 5-fold in places like KwaZulu-Natal. And I know that as we have agreed on this plan together, when we meet this time next year, we will celebrate even more success together. I firmly believe that construction can and will continue to be a major jobs leader. Let us not be distracted by the naysayers. Let us focus on the prize ahead, and that is simply to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to turn South Africa into a construction site. Thank you, thank you, thank you.